Episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone. We are here with the Serranos.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
How are you today, both of you?
I am
Wonderful.
doing good. Good, thank you.
Oh, we're so glad to have you all here today, here on the Kim Jacobs Show. I say we because I'm representing our team, but we are personally excited about the opportunity for us to be able to celebrate you all today. For everyone in the virtual studio audience, go ahead and grab your virtual seats as quickly as possible because it's getting ready to be all the way live right here on today's graduation with the Serranos. I'm going to formally introduce them to you, but when we first come into a show and you're like, okay, oh my gosh, it just came on. Give me a few seconds, Kim, and give me the opportunity to invite some of my friends, family, tag some loved ones, people you like, people you don't like, whatever. Just get them in here because we're going to be talking to these marriage CEOs, okay? They know what they're talking about when it comes to marriage. So we're going to give you just at least a minute. How about that? Is that fair? 1 minute to go ahead and tag, share, do all of that stuff. So then we can deep breathe and just have a great episode here as we celebrate the Serranos and their new show, The Serranos Show. So let's just take a... All right, everybody, and we are back. Listen, I'm so excited because we get the opportunity to introduce this couple to you all that's graduating from How to Start Your Own Show from Scratch. These are just a few of the many descriptions that could describe this power couple. Today, we are excited to introduce to you Dr. Richard and Dr. Nefertina L. Serrano. Together, they are relationship experts, certified marriage counselors, ministers of the gospel, international speakers, certified counselors, publishers, best-selling authors, mentors, and certified life coaches. They are the owners of the Marriage CEOs Entrepreneur Power Couple. Now, I'm going to give them, instead of reading through their entire bio, as they take you back on the journey of both of their individual backstories and how they collectively came together, we're going to be filling in some of the bio information in their backstory. Welcome, Dr. Richard and Dr. Nefertina Serrano.
Hello and good morning. Good morning. How are you?
That was a good thing to do, right? To take the little break and give you a chance to.
Awesome. That was perfect.
Yes, we are so
listen, I would love if
here.
we could, Dr. Nefertina. Let's start with you and give everyone that's watching today just a little bit about your background, who you are, what even made you who you've become.
So we're Doctors Richard and Nefertina Serrano. We are just super excited to be here. You know, you never know what God has in store for you. I was just an average girl like anybody else growing up in the city of Philadelphia, and living as the eldest sibling in my family. And I'm also the eldest granddaughter to my grandparents.
Wow.
So, that put me in a position, where leadership was just, from the beginning of time. Also, my family is very heavy in the church. My grandfather is a bishop. My mom is an elder. My brother is a pastor. My uncles are reverends. So I come from a great lineage of Christians and the body of Christ. We have been members at our church for up 30 years now.
30 years. So y'all are loyal, faithful, devoted saints, right?
Listen, we love Mount Airy now. It's that there's no church like that church anywhere near that church, so it must be the church.
Shout out to our pastor,
shout out Bishop, yes, J. Lewis Fulton, none other than he's amazing. Our overseer, Bishop Morris. It would behoove us not to give thanks for those that have gone before us, that have laid the foundation. To my parents, Elder Imogene Brandt and my dad, Roosevelt Brandt.
Come on, Mother Imogene and Brother Roosevelt.
Yes, this is a great day. Initially I wasn't feeling well in my body, but look at God. Here I am right now. And
that's how God works. He is able. I'm not God. What am I talking about? That's how God works. God, like, there is a God, and you're not it, Kim. You're not him. But I believe that I'm one of his willing vessels. That's what I'll say. And so I'm glad that he healed you in your body to be able to be here today.
Yeah.
So you're saying on your journey, you were an oldest sibling, oldest grandchild, and a lot of responsibility comes with being the oldest child, because I'm one too, so I know that. Did you feel kind of like sometimes the weight of the world on your shoulders and a lot of responsibility?
Very much so. Very much so. From my youngest sibling, who's deceased now, I was almost 20 years older than him. So being the eldest did put me in a position. But, aside from that, I believe I've always been a leader. But, life wasn't always pretty for me, right? I was a young girl growing up. And when you're chosen by God, early in life, things come at you.
Yes.
And so from a little girl, and for those of you who know, have experienced that, from a little girl, the enemy's been chasing me. He's been after me, but God has always covered me. And so that's part of my beginning is in the church. Part of my foundation is in the church. So, and I don't hide that from anybody, because the word said, you be ashamed of me, I'll be ashamed of you before my Father.
That's right.
So, I give glory to the Lord for all the wonderful things that he has done in my life. But I was an average girl. I was bullied growing up. I experienced that in life.
Yes.
I have experienced adult bullying.
Interesting. So, I'm glad you actually said that, and we can talk about that some, because adults bully other adults.
Absolutely. I have experienced that.
Bully employees. You have students that are being bullied by their teachers and those that are in authority, and parents. Some parents bully the children. So it's a lot of bullying that goes on, not just peer-to-peer bullying.
Well, I experienced that, but to God be all the glory. I am just grateful. This wonderful man, we'll tell you about our story a little bit later. I am happy for where I am today. I am happy for who I am today. I'm learning to love me more. Doesn't mean I love anybody less, but I'm learning to love me more. And so in that, God is allowing me to show up for me.
That's
So you
good.
to thine own self be true first.
Go ahead and preach too, Mother Nefertina. Yes,
That's a little bit about
That's
me.
right.
I'm a woman. I'm a wife. I am an evangelist, licensed and ordained. I am true to, to the Lord, to the word of God and all it stands for. And this thing called covenant marriage. We stand on the foundation and the principles that God has laid for us. So I am thankful and grateful today. I'm going to turn it over to my husband because you know I can go.
What a wonderful way to start this conversation off with your backstory. And Dr. Richard, tell us a little bit about your backstory also.
Wow, for me, I was the total opposite. Opposite attracts.
That's a good thing.
So not physically, as a man and female, but I think your background of what you go through, the things that you're seeking in life, right? The things you're seeking in life also is seeking you, right?
Amen.
So what you're pursuing is pursuing you, whether you realize it or not. It really is. And back in the day, before I met my wife, I mean, I was in the neighborhood. I played a lot of basketball. I played a little semi-pro, went to college, and so my background, where my father was an alcoholic. So when he passed away, for me was detrimental to my health. It put me in a bad position because I started doing the things that I saw in my parents, right? And it's pretty much what you follow is what you see is what you follow.
That's right.
So I started doing those things, and I needed a change in my life because I was doing drugs at the time before I met my wife. So listen, you can change from crack,
I believe that,
to opium to hash to acid to all of those things that we did in the 80s, right? Late 70s and 80s. That's when it was really going rampant in our neighborhoods. And then the Lord just blessed me to meet my wife. So when I met my wife, she was a Christian woman, and it was something different about her. And I know I needed a change in my life to do better because I've always wanted to do better. It's just that it was just a stronghold in my neighborhood where I come from and the people I was surrounded around. But thank God that I was able to go ahead and meet my wife and be free of that. My background is, pretty much work, other jobs. I never wanted to be a counselor. It wasn't in my cards to be a counselor. When I met my wife and we started dating, my communication wasn't great. I'm Hispanic, so we have different, a different way of living, right? A different way of our household is run. With my brothers and my sisters and all, we pretty much respected one another as the elders of the household. So my mother was very overprotective over me because I was the younger boy.
Okay.
So I couldn't just bring any girl in my house and think she was going to approve of her. Okay.
You're like, no.
So that wasn't happening. Right. That wasn't happening for me. But I found my calling in counseling. When I started going to counseling because of some things that I was going through in my life. And then that's when I found my calling to say, wow, I really want to really help other couples in their life, because it's really serious that some people don't really know because they've never really met the uncles and the aunts in their families that actually passed away, because the characteristics that we have is some of those that passed away and we never met before.
That's good.
So we don't know why we act the way we act and do the things we do.
That cut Uncle Ray and them and all the boys in front of 7-Eleven when they were hanging out there. You're like, where you get that character trait from? Oh, girl, that's right there. That's Ray and them, and that's Bookie Boy and all of you. Like, huh? You don't even know.
Absolutely.
Crazy. Good point. Very good point.
Yeah.
So continue on. Tell us.
So early when I got saved, because I started going to church with my wife and I was Catholic. So I started going to the Pentecostal church. Now, that's the total opposite of quiet. and praising high, right?
Yes.
So it was something I was not used to. So I talked to the pastor, which was her grandfather. He said, son, just keep coming to church. Just keep coming to church. So I kept coming to church and I got saved. I became a deacon in the church. And because I told him, I said, it's too loud. So when I went back to Catholic, I said, it's too quiet.
That's funny. So you went from too loud to too quiet.
Yeah. So it was a transition for me. So I became a deacon in the church, and that's when I started, ministry, and my life changed for the better.
Wow. And so when you say for the better, we're going to come back and we're going to hear some more of your love story, because that has to be a part of today's discussion.
Of course.
And I want to just acknowledge all of you all that are in the virtual studio audience. Keep your comments coming. Continue to tag your friends. And we're going to be acknowledging them throughout the broadcast. I see you, Tina Ramsey. You said that you are sharing the broadcast. Thank you so much. And also, just so you all know, the Kim Jacobs Show airs on CTR Media Network, and it streams there in over 300 million. What am I talking about? Don't be getting them numbers wrong. Right now, goodness well, it's 300 million.
Amen.
100 million households. Amen. And so definitely connect with Tina Ramsey and learn more about the programming and the broadcast that they have, which is phenomenal, and the households that are streaming in across the globe. So thank you, Tina, for allowing the Kim Jacobs Show to be on your platform. All right, I see you. Rose Slade said, testify about God's grace. Yes, she's also a delightful author who shares the story of her son that passed away, and how her husband and her oldest son, which was the youngest son at the time of the passing, how they have been able to live through Vary's passing. So it's a pretty amazing story, and you definitely want to learn about them. Okay, our sunshine expert is on. She said that that's great family wisdom that y'all are sharing, and she's going to be on tomorrow here on the Kim Jacobs Show on our Freestyle Friday. My mom is on, and she said good morning to you.
Good morning.
Hey, Mom.
All right, y'all, I'll continue to acknowledge. I see, Di Carter. Di will be like, hey, I know you do not see my comment. She said they are amazing, and what a blessing to have them on your show. Congratulations, graduates. Amazing show. Lots of comments coming in. And as they continue to flood in, we'll just periodically stop and just acknowledge you guys. So thank you all. Listen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And then when we come back, what I would like to know is, let's see, talk about your backstory. How did y'all meet? Because neither one of y'all said that in the backstory. How is that humanly possible? Am I representing somebody in the virtual studio audience? Don't we want to know how they met? Put a 1 in the comments. Yes,
absolutely.
I have my story.
Commercial break. Tell us how you guys met. Okay.
Okay.
We look forward to hearing this story. I know it's good, and I know you have different versions. So we'll see. We'll see how it flows here. We'll be right back after this commercial.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everybody, we're back talking with the Serranos, and they are graduating today from the training course, How to Start Your Own Show from Scratch. So I want to hear how you all met.
So should I go first or you go first?
Okay, so
get a room.
How we met? We met, you know what? It was one hot day in the summertime. I can tell you that. I was a senior in high school. I will tell you that. A lot of people don't realize that I was a senior in high school. But I was working. I was working for a pizza company. I've always held a job. And I was a dance major at a college preparatory school that had a performing arts department. Okay. So I had to audition in order to get into that school. And then my friend was meeting me for lunch. And I remember that day, for some reason, my countenance was a little sad. I was a little, in a dry place. And I remember going into the restroom of the restaurant, and I began to pray. And I prayed a simple prayer. I just asked God to please send me someone like my Uncle Dalton. My Uncle Dalton. Well, Uncle Dalton was my Aunt Mary's second husband, because her first husband, my uncle, had passed away, my Uncle Hunter. And so Dalton was the new man in her life, but he treated her with so much love. There was nothing, she was the apple of his eye. And he was so good to her. He was so patient. He was so loving and so kind during those years. And so I prayed. I said, Lord, I don't want to just be promiscuous. I don't want to just be with anybody. I want to be with somebody that can be my friend, that we can have longevity. So yes, at 17, I began to pray that prayer, and it drew me to tears in the restroom. When I came out, everyone was like, Queen, are you all right? They called me Queen at the store. And they were like,
when you were a kid, they calling you Queen. So you already knew you were destined for greatness.
And I was like, I'm okay. I'm okay. Well, later that day, my friend came. Long story short, she met me. We were supposed to be going to the movies. We're heading out to the movies. And here comes this car driving by. Well, as the car was driving by, I was like, Puerto Ricans in this neighborhood? Where are they coming from?
Puerto Ricans. That is such stereotypical what you're saying. Is that what you said, Puerto Rican?
I was like, what are they doing around here?
The views expressed by the guests that come on the show do not always reflect that of the Kim Jacobs Show. Go ahead.
So they drove by us, and you could see they were looking, and they stopped. They stopped, and they get out of the car ahead of us, right? Because they went around the block and came back, because they wanted to pull up. Like Dr. Serrano, he knew what he was doing.
That's why I said, let me look like this out of my glasses. What in the world? So you had a plan over there.
And then he walks over to me immediately. Like he wasn't playing. He was going for what he saw, and that was that. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I was very shy at the time. And he got out of the car, and he began to come up to me, and we said hello. And the story, I'll turn it over to him.
It sounded like you were nervous, Dr. Nefertina. You talking about something? You're like, wait, what's going on with these people rolling up on us like that? So, okay, take it from there. What did you say, Dr. Richard?
Yeah, I mean, for us to be in that neighborhood was different, but because I played basketball and I played in all of the cities in Philadelphia. So that's what we did. And at that time, I was with two of my cousins I made a bet with my cousins that I was supposed to only speak Spanish for the day. So when we, of course, met Nefertina and her friend, I was speaking Spanish that day. And we was driving around in a car and doing what we were doing at the time, you know. And I prayed because that day I prayed I needed a change in my life. And like I said, I came from drugs, and that's what we were doing, driving around in that neighborhood. Which was way far from our neighborhoods. So when we saw Nefertina and all, we pulled, you know, we got out and we started talking, and I went directly to her and started speaking to her in Spanish. And so my cousin had to translate for me in Spanish. And she says, well, how am I going to do this? And he says, well, I'll put you on a three-way. Remember back in the day, the rotary phones with the three ways, you know? So that was our plan to talk, you know, on the three-way, and he would go ahead and interpret Spanish. So throughout that conversation and all, he was interpreting in Spanish.
Wow.
So what happened that time there, after we finished talking, because I already knew that I wanted to talk to her, we went on and we went our separate ways.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't get her phone number or anything?
Yeah, I got a phone number and we talked. But we went our separate ways. But what happened 3 to 4 hours later?
So 3 to 4 hours later,
y'all are too cute. Okay, everybody put okay. I don't know what to say. Just get a room. Just type a room.
We were 3 to 4 hours later. Here we are in a whole nother section of Philadelphia. And as we're coming out of the movie theater, they didn't know we were going to the movies. They had no idea where we were going, but God knew. So as we're coming out of the movies, these two guys were trying to talk to my girlfriend and I, and my girlfriend was not having it. She was like being so mean. And Lord and behold, who comes driving down the street? in another section of the city, not even near where we were.
Wait, stop. So okay. So you've gone on with your day. He has your phone number, but you don't expect to see him anymore that day because you've already talked to him. You've already said, we'll catch up at some point over the next week or so, or whatever. But then now you and your girlfriend, you go to the movies and you all are chilling, and these guys roll up on y'all that neither one of y'all are really feeling that. And then riding down the street is, lo and behold,
here you go,
the Puerto Rican.
Come on. Right?
Okay. Come on, bring it on.
God was not playing. So here they go. So they were our break. We were able to break away from these other two guys that we didn't want to be with. When we saw them and they pulled up the car again and parked and got out, we wind up hanging out for the rest of the evening at the waterfront in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is one of my favorite spots and wind up being our favorite spot. And we talked all night, but Richard was still in this Spanish-speaking mode. He was not speaking English.
He had to do it for 24 hours.
So listen, my girlfriend was like, "You understand English?"
Oh, that's funny because it was all a game for him anyway. Because he could speak English the whole time. He was acting like he couldn't because of the bet. Wow. Okay, you know what? That's straight a Lifetime movie. You know what I'm saying?
You're like the third person that told us that's a movie. I'm serious. People have told us that this is a movie. So I'm going to fast forward. We spend the night together. We wind up being late going, not the night, evening, just the evening.
Okay,
it was getting late.
Let me be clear. It was the evening.
Let me be clear.
Yeah,
I was a good Christian woman now. Don't play.
Your mom would be like, now, you know what? I ain't know that part of your story.
No, but I was late. I was late from getting home. So the night had got well spent. We were late getting home. And my friend at the time was like, well, where are you going to take us? So she said, well, listen, I have your car. I got your license plate. You better take care of my friend. So we dropped her off at home. I know we were daring. We got in the car with these guys. He took me home.
Puerto Ricans.
She lived in one section of the city. I lived in another section, and they lived in a whole nother section. He drops me off at the home. He gets out the car like the gentleman he is. And he's walking, but he's pushing me backward. And he says, don't say nothing. And I looked at him. I'm like, he said, I'm so sorry. I can speak English. He was like, it
was about midnight that time.
And he says, you're so beautiful. He said, can I have a kiss?
I bet you knew how to speak that English. You know how to speak English, didn't you? You know how to come up with some words that work.
He asked for a kiss, and I was like, "Let me tell you, he was cute, honey. He had these long legs, and he was looking golden. It was summertime, and Richard tans really nicely. He looks like this crispy golden color." I was like, okay, and he kissed me on my cheek.
Aww.
I ran in the house because I was late. And I promise you, I ran to the telephone and I called up my girlfriend and I said, Heather, you're not going to believe this. She was like, what? He can speak English. She was like, I knew it. I was like, okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye. That was the night. That was our first night.
Oh, the whole world needs to hear that story, especially as you all are kicking off this new show, the Serranos show. And someone said, who is this? Alexa said that story never gets old. Yes, it definitely wrote a Lifetime movie. And okay, the sweat beads are bobbing down. The sunshine expert, Athena Robertson. Speaking of which, if you all are in the Charlotte or surrounding area and you need a mobile notary, reach out to Athena Robertson and let her know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you. She will do mobile notary services for you all. All right. You sure did. And you danced on that dresser January.
Yes. My sister was a little girl. She was like 7 or 8 at the time when I met my husband. And I promise you, I was all so giddy. I was. But, I didn't know where this was going to lead. But, he seemed like a nice guy at the time.
And he's been a nice guy for how many years later?
35.
32 married.
32 years of marriage, 35 years later. this couple has made it and weathered all storms and stayed together. And guess what? There they are. I just absolutely love your story and so glad.
That picture is us receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award from President Joe Biden. That was a night, one of the greatest nights of our life, you know, next to getting married to this amazing man. It was an honor and a privilege to be bestowed that together as a couple for the work that we've done in ministry together.
That's why I thought this would be the most appropriate picture to put up. There are thousands of pictures of them together, by the way, but this particular one marks a historical moment in their lives, and I'm sure in their culture, both of their individual cultures as well, that they were representing the Hispanic, right?
Yes.
Puerto Rican. And what nationality are you, Dr. Nefertina?
I'm African American.
But because you married to this Puerto Rican, it kind of looks like you a little bit mixed with some Puerto Rican or something.
Right.
I've gotten that all my life. What island are you from? They ask me all the time.
That's funny. Okay, so I thought that picture would be appropriate to just share. And thank you for sharing that with us. The Lifetime Achievement Award by President Biden is bestowed upon both of these hosts for the Serranos show. Listen, when we come right back, we're going to talk about what people can expect to learn when they tune into your show, The Serranos show. The Serranos show is actually going to be airing on Thursdays. It's going to air at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's going to start kicking off in the month of June. So we are super excited because everyone will be in their virtual seats, especially couples. Be in your seats, and it's specifically on Thursdays for a reason. So I'll let them tell you what that reason is when we come back after this commercial break. Are you guys having a good time?
We are. Yes. Thank you so much, Kim. You are amazing.
This is the graduation of Dr. Richard and Dr. Nefertina Serrano today, and they are graduating from a course called How to Start Your Own Show from Scratch. We'll tell you more about that, but let's first learn what you're going to learn on their show. And we're going to be right back after this commercial break.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, everyone, and we're back. And I did put the Silver Shield Security information in the comment section for you all, so you will be able to reach out to them and learn more about their state-of-the-art equipment. All right, so tell us on Thursdays to the Serrano show.
Absolutely. I want to thank my mom and my sister, January Branch. She's joining us today. I saw a post. I saw her face pop up there. My niece Alexis Brandt is joining us today. So I just want to say thank you so much for them.
Thank you, family, the Serrano family, or Nefertina's family, for joining in today.
So what you can expect on the Serrano show. Well, many of you out there know that we also had a previous show called Your Marriage Matters with the Serranos, and it was live on Dominion Network. And then we had the pandemic that happened, right? So all that traveling back and forth was just not feasibly possible. And so life is taking another turn for us. So here we are launching our new show that is going to come forth on social media. Doesn't mean we're going to just walk away from Dominion. We love you guys. But God is leading us to do something new in this season. Right. And so with the Serrano show, we're going to talk about things that are pertaining to life and relationship. It goes back to our Rise Up series that the Lord had us on that journey, and you all joined us last year when we did Rise Up with the Serranos. Listen, this is just a spinoff from that, because we want to talk about the things that matter most to you. So whether you're a married couple, whether you're a single person, whether you're an entrepreneur, my husband and I are called to leaders. And we believe, whether you're from the pulpit to the podium, we are here for you. We are like midwives to couples. We walk alongside you in the game called life, and we do not leave you. So when the going gets tough, the Serranos are going to walk with you in that season. And if you're single, desiring to be married, we're here for you too. Because I believe that it begins with the man or the woman in the mirror.
Absolutely.
So you first got to do what? Be true to thine own self. And if you don't love yourself, how can you love someone else? So first and foremost, we got to get clear on who we are and whose we are and why we were birthed into the earth. We all need to know what our purpose is. So I'm going to digress a little bit. That's what our shows are going to bring to you. We are going to bring stories that heal, stories of love, stories of hope, stories of trials, tribulation, persecution, all of that. We're going to bring health and wellness, faith and finance. We will be sharing with you experts in those areas. See, when you don't possess the skill set, you need to understand that you need to subcontract it out.
Get trained.
So we're not going to come to you saying we know it all, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. No, we're going to say we're here on a journey because life is a journey. And we want you to understand that you're not in it alone. But I want you to know one thing, and I'm going to let Dr. Serrano speak. Listen, not let him speak. I'm going to yield the floor because that's my boo. Yes, the cream in my coffee. I love him so much, and he know I does. So I just want to say you're not alone. We want you to know that we're going to be here with you, and we're going to bring stories that will take you to meet you at the point of your need. That's what we're here for. We are here to represent kingdom. We are here to represent our couples because let me just tell you, covenant marriage is not dead. It is still alive.
Amen.
Right.
But there are statistics, and those statistics do share a story. But we're going to share with you a more relevant story. And that story is that Jesus is still alive on the throne. And he instituted marriage. It was his institution. And he will have good success in your marriage. If that's not your story, we get that. And we're here to help you walk through that and transition as well, because we understand that there are single, separated, and then there's life after divorce. Right? It doesn't have to be an end all be all. That's right. My husband has said many times that marriage is a death, that when you divorce, it's like a death.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Some people never recover from that.
Yes.
There are women, wonderful, amazing women and men in this earth that never remarried again because of the hurt or because of the devastation that they went through in that marriage. So we're going to help you. We're going to help you in this journey. And,
well, come on, Mr. Dr. Richard. You got to go behind all of that, right? So now we can say something.
He said it all. But
tell us something.
You know, for me and for us, transparency is one thing that you're going to get, because until you know someone's story, right? You don't know why they're doing what they're doing, and they're going as hard as they're going, right? And I'll tell you one little story real quick, because you're going to go through your trials and tribulation, and James 1:2 talks about count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptation, knowing that the crown of your faith work is patience, right? So we know that what we go through is building us up for something, right?
Yes,
it is. Build the patience, and it's for someone else. So when I was dating my wife at the time, right, my mother moved in a Spanish female in my room because culture, she wanted me to marry a Spanish person, right? This is a true story. So transparency is what you're going to get with us. Because my sister had to tell my wife, no, he didn't do that, because I didn't know anything about it. When I spoke to my mother, and she said, well, she needed a place to stay. I said, but I have a girlfriend. She said, well, she can just stay there for a couple of days or whatever. I said, no, she can't. But this is what I say that and bring up this story, because those trials and tribulation and things that we go through, if you know that that spouse is for you, right, God made a way for her to get to you, then you have to fight to keep it. You have to fight to keep that relationship.
That right there, some big fighting. If your mama done moved the whole girlfriend in the room with you behind closed doors, you know she cute. Because she's Puerto Rican. Look, you know she's cute because she's Puerto Rican, right?
Yes.
So then she's in the bedroom over there getting dressed. You're like, how much time a brother? I said brother just loosely, a brother. But how much brother? Echo, look at that.
That was a mess, but she cute too now.
Dr. Nefertina, she was named after royalty.
Oh, yes,
and
that's right.
she is a queen, and she is gorgeous.
That's right.
She all that in a bag of chips, the Doritos, the lot chips,
all of that.
nachos, all that.
That's
oh my
right.
gosh,
That's
thank
right.
you.
So that's when I first went to counseling. And we went to a circle of counseling because I needed help with how to understand what was going on with my mother.
Okay.
So counseling reveals who you are and it's greatness in you. You know, Les Brown talk about that. You know, it's greatness in you, right? Because sometimes we don't know what's in us.
Yeah,
that's right.
Until someone helps you to find out and to reveal what's in you.
Yeah.
Well, so that's what we do.
He says that if you're in the picture frame, you can't see the picture because you're already inside the frame. It's impossible. So you have to have people around you that can see you. Go on, carry on.
Absolutely. So that's what we do. We help you to reveal who you are and to see that the purpose for your life it's right in front of you, and you need to get to where you need to get because there's people that need to listen to your voice. You know, we're not going to be able to listen. Marriage ministries, I don't care how many couples out there are preaching and ministering, we still need more. We still need more. Because, you know, with our coaching and our counseling, infidelity, there is so many repeated offenders. You would not believe how things are going on today. Behind closed doors. I mean, you see the Will Smith thing, you see the celebrities, you see what's going on out there. That's just a few things that are really true of what's really happening.
Absolutely.
What's going on and the trick of the enemy, because we know better. We know what not to go along with. Right?
That's right.
So we're going to be talking about marriage, remembering when it was good. Right, we're going to be talking about remembering when it was good. We're going to be talking about different things like how do you add value to your spouse? Right? We want to make sure that we can understand the value that we have. We're going to talk about bedroom discussion.
I'm looking through my file to see if you're saying all of the stuff that I have over here in my little file cabinet. Okay, go ahead.
How do you go to bed? How do you dress when you go to bed? Do you take a bath? Do you not take a bath? All of these things need to be discussed.
Come on.
I really hope that you take some kind of clean off before you go get into bed with your spouse, for sure.
Trust and believe.
Listen, this is a
real.
true thing that's happening. These are conversations that we have in our counseling session.
This is good. Yes.
It's not, it doesn't meet the standards of the other couple. Right? Staying in love by making love.
Yes, y'all get ready for some topics up in here.
All right. Staying in love by making love.
Yeah.
You got to talk about different positions. Listen, this is an adult. Listen, being married is, what is it we say?
Being married is for mature adults.
It's for mature adults. It is not for children. You have to make decisions in your marriage that will benefit the marriage, not just you. Okay.
Yes.
We don't talk about compromise. We talk about negotiating.
Yes.
When you compromise, someone loses. When you negotiate, you both win.
Amen. Yes.
So that's what we're talking about in our counseling session. That's what we're going to talk about in our show. You know, we're going to talk about good manners in your marriage. You know, the things you should be doing. Opening doors, closing doors. If you started doing that at the beginning, why did you stop doing that?
Right. Come on now.
Why did you stop doing that? That's not, you're not going to keep that couple if you continue to do that.
Yeah.
You just, I mean, you know, it's just not. They're going to look at someone else opening doors and then they're gonna want what's on the other side. The grass is not greener on the other side.
Come on.
It really
You
isn't.
have to water yours, put the nutrition in, and your grass will grow just as better as their grass on the other
Yes.
side. Amen.
If you water it and treat it and make sure you get the weeds out and all that
Right.
good stuff, you're gonna have a pretty
It's
little
gonna
lawn
grow.
right where you live.
Absolutely.
So we are super
Absolutely,
excited.
yes.
We are super excited to bring this show to you. You know, I'm saying it's we
that
need
heart,
to
that's right.
understand. She said marriage is not for the weak at heart.
That's
Right, not for the weak at heart. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
And somebody else said benefits that work for marriage, not just for you individually.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And see what
Absolutely.
couples need to, for couples, what they need to understand
Mhm.
is it's not 50-50. It's 100 and 100. Right? Why would you want 50-50 of anything? You
Nobody
want
wants that.
100, right? So we need to understand that's what we bring to the table. What we also want to warn our couples, right, is that this, although the show is not just for couples and just for married folks, it is for relationships. And that's relationships with mom and dad, relationships with our siblings, relationships on the job, right? We need to know how to conduct ourselves in the workplace as well. So we're going to talk about life situations and life matters. We want you to know that we have been married for 32, it'll be 33 years and 2 more months. We will have been married for 33 years. To God be all the glory. But let me just tell you something, people, today. I'm speaking to our audience right now. There is no big I's and little U's.
Yes.
We have our mountain highs and we have our valley lows. And we want you to understand that marriage is a journey to forever. Forever is a long time, but you can have good, godly success in your marriage. And you can fare the storm, weather the storm. When the going gets tough, don't be so quick to get going.
I
Sometimes
agree.
you gotta stay in it. However, we know the flip side of that, right? Because we understand that there is a thing called life that happens to us all.
That's right.
And we want to say to you, we know, because we have literally have to sleep with the dogs in a real sense, laying on the floor. Okay, in someone's basement. We know what it is to be a day away from homelessness. And God show up in the 12th hour and say, here's the keys to your house. We know what it is to lose 2 cars in one day. Not 1, but 2. We know what it is to lose a home, not to your own accord, but because of situation and circumstances. Yes, we want to be transparent because we know that life shows up. And when life shows up, you don't get that opportunity to say, I want to be somebody else. But you do get the opportunity to say, no matter what, I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to stand this test of time. And ladies, understand, from my single ladies, here's your word. You ready? I hope you got pen and paper.
We ready.
Stop, look, and listen. Stop, look, and listen. You got to stop looking for Mr. Right. Look to the hills from whence cometh your help. Listen to the words that God wants to speak into you and let you know. And then he'll find you. And then he'll find you. We know what it is to suffer, but we also know what it is to reign. We know what it is to go through those hard times. And don't think the enemy has, 33 years, we haven't gone through some stuff now. It may have taken 25 before we realized, he came at us real hard.
Right.
Real hard. And one day we'll talk to you about that.
Oh, they're going to talk to you about that on their show when it comes out on Thursdays. You're going to be hearing so much from the Serranos. It's going to be blessing your heart. Trust me. Okay. I do want to take a commercial break again. And when we come back, I want to give people an opportunity to learn what you learned by being in this program of how to start your own show from scratch. So when we come right back, we'll hear your own testimonial of being in the show.
When someone has lost a loved one, they want to know what exactly happened. They want to know is the other person going to be held responsible? And they want closure. At Hunter and Everett, we help clients that have lost a loved one move on, and to do that with dignity and respect that they deserve.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, and we are back, and we are talking with the Serranos. Now, let me do this also because we have another episode sponsor, which is Lindio Central Charlotte, and they are having a big event coming up virtually on May 10th, and they're talking about how important it is to not just always have to go to a bank, but how to be the bank.
Come
And
on.
I think this is just a program that everyone should be interested in learning about. Learn how to be the bank, the one and only business funding master course webinar. And they're one of our episode sponsors today. I'm going to play real quickly the Think Big video by the founder. Wait a minute, let me pull it up. Here we go. Can you see that? Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is the funding CEO, man. Hey, out of one of these banks. I'm gonna let you guys know, man. May the 10th, I'm gonna introduce to you how close you are to being the bank. You gotta tap in, guys. This is the funding CEO, man. Hey, look, the first fintech owner here in North Carolina, South Carolina area. You gotta be there, guys. Listen, man, I'm gonna be dropping so much information, secret sauce on all underwriting criteria. What the banks have been holding back from you guys for years, not telling you. I'm gonna drop it in this webinar, guys, because I want you guys to go out here and be able to have some healthy businesses. Okay, you can be able to walk into banks or walk in any type of situation when it comes to funding for your small businesses. I'm so pumped, man. This is my way of giving back, man. $20 million with small businesses over the last few years. And I'm gonna drop it all in this webinar, guys. Just pay attention, man. Hey, May the 10th, man, 6:30. Be there, all right? Don't play small, man. If you're gonna think, like I always tell you, think big. Peace, funding CEO.
Nice.
All right, listen. You don't want to miss the event because he knows what he's talking about. The man he just recently hosted an event. There were over 30,000 people in attendance. Wow. He is a money guy. So definitely check out this webinars.lindioclt.com. Let them know the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way and register for that webinar. Okay. All right. So tell us, if you will, let me move this for 1 second and let everybody hear your testimony of going through the Kim Jacobs Show training on how to start your own show from scratch.
So I just want to say, you know, my wife, I just want to pick off real quick. My wife passionate about couples and about what she went through and what she's going through. Just to let everyone know, our story is not just for us, it's for you as well. Right. For you to benefit from it. So please tune in when we start our show because there's a lot more to come.
Thursdays at 8:00 p.m.
Yep.
Beginning in June, you're going to be able to tune into the Serranos show. And they have so many things that's in my file that they didn't even mention to you all. I'm talking about things like rising up together, we win, rising up from domestic violence, rising up from poverty, from negative mindsets. They got so many things that they're going to be sharing with you all. And they specifically are doing it on Thursdays because lots of couples, remember I told you we talked about this,
yes,
notes, that lots of couples go into the weekend
they absolutely
experience traumatic experiences. And that's when a lot of, go ahead, y'all tell them. It's your show.
Oh no, you know, we just know you're perfect. First of all, thank you so much, Kim Jacobs. You are a godsend. We didn't realize I never would have known, only God would have known that we needed you in this season at this particular time. Thank you for pushing us, for coaching us, for encouraging us, for praying for us. You are an amazing woman. You're an amazing mom. Yes. You are a wonderful sister in the kingdom. And I just thank you so much for being there for us. My husband was so elated to take your course and so excited It has been just a joy, a joy, a joy. But I want you guys to know that couples, for y'all out there, just know that on Thursdays, everybody say Thursday.
Thursdays.
Know that the enemy will fight you on Thursday against each other. Right. You'll wake up with an attitude. You'll start the day off on the wrong foot.
Yep.
Why? Because it's the day before the weekend. Hello, dun dun dun. It's the day before the weekend, and anything that the enemy can do to cause division, he will do. So he starts it on the weekend, and then you guys that were planning a wonderful weekend away or going somewhere or going to dinner, that doesn't happen. So he will keep you separated and divided because he knows united you stand, together you win, but divided, a house divided against itself will surely fall.
It can't help it. Can't help it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with StreamYard and your teaching, and I also want to say thank you so much. What you see, audience, is the way that she is on the show is the way that she is on the backstage, on the back end, at home,
behind the closed doors.
Behind the closed doors,
yes.
She is such a big, huge inspiration to her family. Such a leader in her home. Listen, she wears so many hats, and I'm touched because it's so true. A lot of us, like Kim Jacobs, don't get the recognition, right, that she deserves. But I do want to say that today she is worthy of her hire. She is worthy of everything she does. What she teaches, what she preaches.
Got me cry.
It is just so true. We have to give the flowers now when people are alive. They have to hear this because I think it's so important that they know how much they matter.
Yeah.
It can seem simple, it can seem little, but helping somebody to do a show is huge because there's so many people that's going to be blessed by it. But guess what? The blessing is attached to her because she started you on your way to be a blessing. But guess what? Where it started is where it's going to be blessed. So Kim Jacob will continue to be blessed over and over and over and over again, because whatever blesses us blesses her. Amen. Wow. So I just wanted to say that because we already know that our voice carries into generation to generation, right?
Yes.
And we know that her voice already done that because of where she is today. Listen, how many viewers you have? How many people following and listening to you? Millions. Yeah. And it wasn't always like that. So she put the time in.
Yeah, absolutely.
She put the time in. And when she trains you on StreamYard, she teaches you everything.
Yeah.
She does not hold back. I don't care what package you have.
Yeah.
I believe whatever package you have, it doesn't really matter. It's whatever desire you have to learn is what she's going to teach you.
Yeah.
And she's filled with the Holy Ghost. So God is going to speak to her about certain things that she needs to do for you, for your show.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And she is a professional. She does things in excellence.
Yes.
So you're getting the best.
The best.
And she does not hold back any punches. She teaches you everything step by step.
Wow.
I don't take up a lot of time.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting none of that. I was just trying to say what you learned in the class. I'm like, what? This right here, the whole commercial, right?
I just want to make sure that the audience understand. Don't contemplate it. Don't belabor. Do what God has called you to do.
Yeah.
And you're with the right coach. She's going to help, and she doesn't just leave you and drop you off. She's always going to be there. I mean, I don't know if she probably needs to pass this on to the kids or somebody to help help along the way, because she's growing in leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
So she has a team. So I know with the team that she has is blessing her to do the things that she needs to do on the set.
Yes. Awesome.
Wow. Go ahead.
Okay. Please make sure that you all register for how to start your own show from scratch, and you'll get a 25% discount if you say that you saw it and heard it through the Serranos. Right through the Serranos. Then I'll make sure I work with you in the training sessions. And at the end of the day, you own the rights to your own show. I don't own any of those rights. I'm simply coaching you to be able to create your show from scratch. And I'm glad that we went with the Serrano show versus
Yes.
whatever it was going to be. I think the Serrano show is what it needed to be. So it's my
Awesome.
honor and privilege. And I do see all of your comments coming in. Thank you so much, Dr. Lotus Roche. You said I'm a blessing. Thank you so much around the world. And if you're connected to, okay. Oh, very, very nice. May the fruit of the vine of abundance shower down on you,
Wow.
even down on your seed and their seeds, even those that do not have children. You are creators. May her blessings pass on to everything that you do positively. Wow.
Wow.
Thank you. Rose Slade said, absolutely. She's a blessing. Thank you so much. She's a blessed person. Thank you, Mary Burton. I'm so glad to see you, so deserving. And Carrie Ann, so true. Kim, you're an awesome woman. I love you. Love you. Love you. Okay. Marriage is not just an emotional connection. It is a business, because
Absolutely.
as you have to be about the business of creating an environment that will help your relationship thrive. Excellent. And Ernetta said, congratulations to both of you all with
Thank
your
you.
new
Thank
show.
you.
All right, so listen, everybody, it's time to get ready to transition to give this certificate of completion here on this graduation. So we're going to take one more quick commercial break, and when we come right back, we're going to, oh, that's cute. We're going to do that. Okay. First of all, this commercial here will kind of still show us in the background. So wait 1 second.
Lamb Funeral Home has been serving the Cabarrus County in North Carolina and surrounding communities for more than 9 years. Our staff of funeral directors are dedicated to providing the very highest quality of service and continue to be well respected throughout the communities we serve. Our professionals are caring, experienced professionals who understand that each family is unique and has personal requests and traditions. These requests and traditions are the utmost importance to our staff of licensed funeral directors. From the initial care to aftercare, you can entrust your loved one and arrangements to Lamb Funeral Home.
All right, and we have our final episode sponsor that I have to get in here today.
Nothing says I love you more than final expense insurance whole life protection with funeral advocacy nationwide, saving you and your family 30 to 80% off funerals and cremations. Nothing says I love you more than Get Insured Solutions, LLC. GetInsured.Solutions, 704-499-3616.
All right, everyone. Every time the thing come back on, y'all about to kiss or something. I don't know what's going on right now. It's like, hello, we're here. Okay, everybody, we're getting ready to end very shortly, so just stay for a few more minutes as we close out this graduation ceremony. But I just wanted to make sure we take a moment to acknowledge some of the great success that's been going on as you have matriculated through ministry together, to your doctorate together, a lot of things that you all have going on. And I wanted to say that I know you're getting ready to travel to Dubai.
Yes, for the First Ladies Forum with none other than Princess Maradian Agulana. Yes, we are super excited about that. We're taking the entire Rise Up Women Who Lead Building Legacy crew, and it is going to be on and on.
I'm so excited. I'm one of the collaborating authors. I won't be in Dubai, unfortunately, but a whole lot of them will be representing us over there. And this is the book, in case you haven't gotten it yet. It's I'll put the website up again for you to be able to go and purchase your copy of Rise Up, Women Who Lead Building Legacy. You can get that from Dr. Nefertina Serrano. And this picture here, I just think this is beautiful.
Yes. I am your Woman of Achievement U.S. National Ambassador Queen. And I want to thank Dr. Marlena Martin, who is the overseer and founder of that. Listen, I never thought I would be in a pageant, but God said, it is your season. And I was the first crowned in 2021 to be the reigning queen for this year. And I will be serving all the way until 2023.
All right. And this picture, I think, just speaks volumes too, because someone that came from, he said, drugs and different things to being in this robe shows that transformation can happen. Tell us about this picture.
That's something.
Thank you, Lord.
That's something right there.
That's our first picture in our robes together.
Yeah.
That's your first picture in your
robes together. Yeah.
I work with my husband in ministry and in life because we work for the government, but we also work together in ministry. Yeah. We have several businesses and services that we provided, including our nonprofit organization, Covenant Rescue 911, the 24-hour hotline for couples and families in crisis. And we are in the business right now of building a 72-hour overnight care facility for a couple or family in crisis. And my husband is running his business, Serranos Coquito, which was a family traditional drink that's been in his family for over 30 years. And now he's taking it to the world, serving it all year round. It is a drink that is a delicacy that brings families together. So we love it. We have fun over Coquito.
You even know how to say it the right way. And I also want to just acknowledge everyone that celebrates Cinco de Mayo Day, that it's kicking off today, and it'll be going all throughout the month. But I want to make sure that we do acknowledge that as well for all of you that are celebrating Cinco de Mayo Day in celebration time. Let the party begin. All right. So everyone, it is my distinct pleasure and privilege to share this graduation song for a brief moment so that we can go ahead and present the formal certificate of these individuals. I always change the background to just say it's now graduation moment. These two individuals have completed the course of how to start your own show from scratch. This certificate is being presented to, and thank you so much, Shannon, on the Kim Jacobs Show team for doing the certificate, and for all of our team members that play your own individual parts in making the Kim Jacobs Show what it is. I truly appreciate everyone and the support team, because I cannot do what I do without all of you. So this certificate is being presented to Dr. Nefertina and Dr. Richard Serrano, The Serrano Show, Marriage CEOs, May 5th, 2022. And I'm going to play your graduation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And it is right here. Right. So the Serrano. Everybody put your comments in the comment section. Hashtag the Serrano Show. And let's close this episode out by just celebrating. And I'll put all of the comments that I can as we close out today's episode.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Congratulations to you all, Serranos. And tomorrow, make sure you all tune in. We have our Freestyle Friday experts that'll be right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. They have some serious knowledge to drop too. So you don't want to miss that episode right here at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Congratulations again. And everyone, thank you for tuning in. Hashtag the Serrano Show. Tune in on Thursdays, kicking off in June. Thursdays, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all stay backstage. Any closing comment?
Listen, just learn to love yourself more, and remember to love somebody.
And listen, hit up Kim Jacobs. Start your show right away. You will not be disappointed.
All right, everyone. On that note, have a great one. See you at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. so they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on The Kim Jacobs Show.